So we purchased the GT40 from Alan Peterson at Pathfinder Motors down in Fort Lauderdale. He's had the car for many years. It's their pride and joy. It's P2183 in the registry. It was done as a Mark IIB car. Alan's had the car for several years, and he sent the car to Holman Moody, where Lee Holman and Jim Rose, who worked on the original XGT number 2 car in 66 or 67. It was also a number 7 car from England. Jim did all the suspension work on our car. So Lee Holman retrofitted the car with the Mark IIB dash. There are only 2 Continuation Series that are licensed that have the Mark IIB dash, which is done as a 67. So we met Alan a year or so ago, acquired the car from him, shipped it to Denver. It was sitting in a Porsche museum in Fort Lauderdale for several years before we obtained the car. We've had the car about a year and a half now. We wanted to bring it to Vegas last year for the Shelby Bash. It was subsequently canceled because of COVID, so we took the opportunity this week to bring the car out to introduce it to everybody and to show our mother who hasn't seen the car yet. So it's a very special car to us. There's many Mark IIs out there, everywhere from home builts to kits to licensed continuations, but this one has history with it, as we'd say, with Lee Holman from, I'm not sure if he was part of the John Wire team or the Alan Mann team, but him and Lee having worked on the car.
I drove the GT40 when we were in Colorado, obviously, and I think one of the hardest things for me is I couldn't reach the pedals, so I needed pillows. So we had to try to figure that out first. Once we got that situated, I took it out around the neighborhood and then a little bit further and then out on the highway. And we like to cruise from where we live to Estes Park, which is about an hour away, and go through the mountains. We had 2 of our vehicles out and I was moving a little too slow. So we pulled over and I was told to get out of the Cobra and jump in this one for the rest of the drive through the mountains, which was wonderful. It handles great. I love it. It's a bit of a beast, but it's wonderful. I have a lot of fun in it and brings back a lot of fond memories because my dad used to race, and that's what I did growing up, was going really fast in fast cars.
And her father used to race back at Riverside.
Yep.
And
he had a Cobra, and Holman Moody worked on his car in Southern California. So we have a history that goes back quite a ways with the cars, and Holman and Moody, obviously. So I remember my dad saying after they worked on his car, she went really fast after that. Like, his eyes really lit up and goes, oh yeah, she went real fast after that. So, it has a little soft spot in our heart to have the car, obviously.
it has a Roush 427 in it that I believe Holman Moody changed the cam on. The original owner back in the history of the car had a Shelby FE 427 in there, which we would love to have had. But it has a full fire suppression system. It's correct as far as the suspension, the sway bars, the rivets in the seats, everything, aside from being a right-hand drive, that now it's a left-hand drive.
The Miss America Association, as most people know, has 50% of the points of talent, so it has a talent-based competition. And growing up, I, with my mom, would go to my dance classes, but with my dad, I'd be under the car handing him tools and learning how to go fast. So I had a pretty good balance between the two. And in 1986, I did run for Miss Orange County in 1986 in California, and I won Miss Orange County, and then I competed for Miss California, 1986, and that was the first time they held it in San Diego. So it's always fun to watch people's faces. See me get all dressed up and then get in my jeans and get behind the wheel of a car and go fast, because most people think a pretty girl doesn't always know how to do that.
And change the oil.
And change the oil and the tires.
Right.
Yes, I can do all of that.
Right.
All the good stuff that's very simple, I think.
And help bleed the clutch and the master cylinders and those things. So,
Yep. Yeah.
The impressions of driving the GT40, especially this one, it's phenomenal. You would think that it feels like a go-kart because you're so low to the ground, but it's not. It handles like it's on rails. It's smooth. You could spend hours in the car. It's so comfortable. But it's unlike anything. And then if you haven't had the opportunity, a person hasn't had the opportunity at some point in their life to drive one, I certainly encourage you to do so, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience every time you get behind the wheel of this thing.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes a lot of work. For me, as a woman, I don't have the same arm strength, maybe, right? Definitely everything else, easy enough. But it takes work because you have a lot of people around you who might not be paying attention. So your attention is watching all the people around you, making sure they're not going to do something silly and get in your way. So I think that part of it is a very healthy respect of what that car can do and watching people around you and what they may or may not be paying attention to. So it takes a lot of multitasking in your brain to do that. But it's simple as far as the ride. It's a beast. Before you know it, you're up the road and you didn't even realize you weren't touching the gas that much. So it's fun. It's a blast.
We plan to show it in the future. What's real special for us is we try to partner with any of the child cancer organizations they have in Denver, or Make-A-Wish, and which a lot of those events have been closed this year because of obviously current events. But it's real important for us to give back with the car, get as many children in the car as we can that have never seen one, that want to see it, let them touch it, let them sit in it, let them ride in it. That's where the real enjoyment of the car is. It's nice to take to car shows, especially for people that have never seen a GT40 before. We plan to move here probably in a couple of years, so we'll be more active with the Shelby events. And certainly the next Shelby Bash that comes along, we'd love to have the car here with that.
Yeah.
So.
We're looking forward to it. The
Yes.
weather's much better for the vehicle here, let's say that. Being a mile high is a little less oxygen, so being down here, we're watching the car perform a little bit differently and smoother in some ways, right? So again, as Bill was saying, we really enjoy doing the car shows that we do currently. Most of them all have some kind of a significance towards children and raising awareness for whatever that might be. We enjoy it, and we love watching the kids' faces just light up, because the first thing we go, want to get in it? They're like, can I? Yeah, you can get inside. And the parents are taking pictures, and and again, we're helping to raise money for very good organizations, so that is a blessing. So we hope to pay that forward in some way.